All right, everybody, welcome back into another edition of the Fantasy Variation. Last week we got a special guest. We've got another special pod for you on tap this week, joined by Colin on this beautiful Tuesday night. We got another guest out here tonight. Our last member, I think, of the league that hasn't been on the pod yet. We've got Tanish, a.k.a. Salty Mango, in the building. He just played me last week. So, Tanish, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, Tommy. Yeah, it's been a long time coming for Salty Mango to be on the show here, but yeah, looking forward to chatting some ball with the fellas, and it's a good time. It's a good time to hop on the podcast. I mean, we're halfway through the season now, so there's some exciting shakeups with how the teams are looking, and yeah, I think things are trending upward for the fellas, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, happy to be on.
Hell yeah, dude. And that kind of made me a little depressed there. Here, we're already halfway through the season. I mean, fantasy regular season, we're already over the halfway mark. So a little sad to see that, but always happy to still have some football on. Colin, maybe before we dive into any of our games here, want to tell us how you're doing tonight?
Dude, I'm great. Another week, another Colts win. So we're chilling. How about you? How are you doing?
Man, I don't want to brag, but just went to the dentist today. We're on like 15, 20 years straight with no cavities. So don't want to flex on everyone, but we're feeling pretty good with the no cavity diagnosis earlier today.
Let's go.
I don't know if I can say the same, but we'll keep the HIPAA off air.
All right. Well, I guess if no one has anything else to add right off the bat, Tanish, why don't we just go ahead and get into our game? Absolute barn burner of a game here. 95-85. You're able to take me down, hand me my fifth loss in a row now. So don't have a ton to say on my team. Why don't you just take things away? Maybe glaze Bijan and Josh Jacobs while you're at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of glance over the box scores here. I mean, first off, yeah, I think Tommy and I always have some pretty close matchups. So although Tommy hasn't been doing super hot this year, I think I was still quite nervous going into this game. It was a big game for me. I think it was, every win matters, but I felt myself being pretty nervous seeing the Thursday night game, and Slater does his part, but Quentin Johnson drops the goose egg, so that wasn't too great. But yeah, I was also nervous going into Monday night. Mahomes surprisingly has been quite good this year, but seeing the first half and seeing how the game was trending, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how he would be with Worthy, but yeah, I'm just glad I got the dub. I'm glad Mahomes did his part. He showed out. Was not pretty by any means. Having both teams score under 100 with the double flex is not great, but yeah, my team is quite banged up, so I think if we can get healthy here down the back half of the season, I think we can really make a run. But yeah, a win's a win. That is my mantra in this very competitive league.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good point. I feel like we always have some good matchups, some good high-scoring, close games. This one may be kind of close. It did come down to Monday night, but not necessarily high scoring in this one. I want to say we were like a 50-50 split going into Monday night with you having Mahomes and Worthy, and then I had Debo, Mr. Brick Hands out there, Samuel. So no luck for me that night. He only gets me 4 points, and obviously Mahomes with the 23 piece and Xavier Worthy with 10, able to get the job done. So another loss for me. I don't think I have much to add on my team. I feel like I've said over these last few episodes, I do really like your team as long as those two running backs can stay healthy. And like you said, you got A.J. Brown and Garrett Wilson out right now. So once you get those guys back, if those two stud RBs can stay healthy, I think this is going to be a really scary team heading into the playoffs. And like you said with Mahomes too, you got the number one quarterback in fantasy so far this year. So that's always a huge upgrade to add, especially when you don't take them early in the draft like some of the other options people have.
Yeah, I think anchoring the team around Bijan has been good. I was kind of nervous coming out of the draft. I really thought my team was going to suck just like with the build. I was just like weak wide receivers, like okay running backs, but yeah, Bijan has been good. Josh Jacobs has been good. I feel like I have a good stable of receivers. Keenan Allen, my guy, has been killing it all season. I think he's like a top 12 receiver. Devonta Smith is a little hard to trust in the lineup, but he's been putting some good weeks. Garrett, AJ, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if I could just get some decent wide receiver production, hopefully Bijan and Jacobs and Big Mahomes can take me far. So yeah, we'll see.
I was gonna ask you about the wide receivers. I feel like I've ripped Devonta Smith and AJ Brown a lot. How do you feel moving forward?
Dude, I don't know. Like the Eagles are just so tough to gauge, and on like a given Sunday, it could be a Saquon game where he rips like 180 yards and 3 touchdowns. It could be an AJ Brown game. It could be Devonta Smith. It could be both of them. But I feel like some weeks you got to just roll the dice and let it rip, because if it pays off, it pays off. I mean, I think last week I had benched Devonta and he had like 30-something points. So they're just a really talented team. I feel like that's the benefit of having some teams that are pretty talented. Is just like they could pop off at any moment. So, yeah, I have no choice but to just throw them in there. And I mean, Garrett's hurt, so, and AJ Brown's out, I suppose. So, we'll see how it goes the next few weeks. But yeah, I feel a little nervous at times, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Last call out I want to make about your team. So you mentioned you benched Devonta Smith last week with 33. You still put up 175. And we've talked about your team a lot. Your team is so boom or bust. I'm gonna go through week by week. You scored 101, 88, then 177, 154, then 88, 140, 175, 95. It is hit or miss, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I actually didn't even realize that until you said it. Because it's like it just feels like such an odd team. Like I've never really had a team that's been this boom or bust. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like it just seems like some weeks everything's clicking. So yeah. I guess it's not a bad place to be. I mean, my teams are a little bit more consistent usually, but if we can ride the roller coaster, just like I think it's all about getting the guys healthy, for some good December football, baby.
Just get hot in the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are the type of teams you really want to going into the playoffs. Like I was kind of saying, like these boom or bust teams. I mean, when you put up 170, it's gonna be hard to knock you out in the playoffs. So I mean, if you have a team that's got the capability of doing that, I mean, looking at the team on the right here in this matchup, that team certainly doesn't have the ability to do that. So I think just having the ability to put up like huge boom weeks like that is going to be huge come playoff time. I know we've got a tight race this year, so we'll see what 6 teams end up getting in there. I know there's a lot of teams kind of hovering around that 500 mark or just below. So yeah, we'll see. I think this is going to be a really scary team once we get there, though. Knock on wood, though, for injuries, like you said, they always got to stay healthy going into playoff time.
Absolutely. All right, I'll kick it over to me and Riley's matchup. I did get the win, 144 to 129. Was a little nervous just because I shit on Riley's team all the time, but it's well deserved. He moves to 2-6. I'll go to 6-2. Really happy this week. Survived the first week of McCaffrey going under I think it's 23. Yeah, first week he's gone under 22 and put up 9.8. But got the win. Was still able to put up 144. Really carried by James Cook's 216 rushing yards. And then Drake May, man, love the dude. I think he's at QB3 right now. It's not going to show me. Oh yeah, he is QB number 3. So super happy there. And had Nico Collins out last week. So really happy. Not a whole lot more to add. I guess on Riley's team, he does have some interesting guys like Breece Hall, Swift, and Waddle. I do like the rest of the season, but that's all I got to say on Riley's team.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much more to add on Riley's team. Another good win for your team, up to 6-2. I feel like you and Dean have kind of panned out the way that we kind of expected at the beginning of the year. So good to see your team keep winning kind of like we expected. Another carry job for Riley's team. I know Breece Hall was able to chime in this week with a couple of touchdowns on the ground as well as one passing. So impressive stuff out of Breece Hall, but another carry job out of Jalen Hurts. This guy just seems to be putting up big scores every week. Behind the tush push, I guess I don't know for sure if he had a rushing touchdown this week, but every week seems like Riley's getting a good score out of Jalen Hurts than the rest of his team, just trying to pick up the scraps there. So not able to get it done this week, though. I will say shout out to him for putting up 130 with no Brian Thomas, even though he's been asked this year, and no Devontae Adams. So a couple of week in and week out starters for him not playing and still able to put up a big score. One thing to call Jake Ferguson with a 0. Number 1 tight end on the year, finally puts up a 0. So I think kind of like we talked about earlier this year, he's probably going to come back down to earth a little bit. But man, I do love me this Dallas Cowboys passing offense. So
he puts up a 0 on tight end day, man. Like what was going on with that? Does Dak hate tight ends? Like that was brutal.
Dude, thank you for calling that out. I wanted to say real quick, whoever made the schedule and put a National Tight Ends Day on the Lions bye week, shame on you, man. We were robbed of a Brock Wright masterclass on Sunday. So unfortunate to hear that.
I will say the Kyle Pitts. I mean, I don't know what year it is for Kyle Pitts, but I mean, if Riley's got something going for him, it's the Kyle Pitts somewhat breakout. He's having a decent year. You know, he's catching the ball. He's making some nice. He's going like a nice 4 for 50, 4 for 60. I mean, you can't complain. So Kyle Pitts is doing well. But yeah, I haven't really watched much of the Jags, but the Brian Thomas, I just don't know what's going on there. I mean, like last year, I remember I don't think I had him, but he was like a top 7, top 8 wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's just like a lot of mouths to feed there for something with the Jags offense, but I feel like the Jags overall have been playing decent. So that's been interesting. And then, I mean, Cooper Kupp too is like another guy where I could see him being like at the draft, you could easily see him being like a top 15 receiver, but it's just JSN has ascended into like a top. I don't even know where you put him at. Like at the top 5 for sure. Like he's been murdering it. So just just kind of an example of how fantasy sometimes is a dart throw. I mean, who would have really seen BTJ man being that much of a bust? It's really unfortunate.
So true.
But
one thing I do want to say, good call out on Kyle Pitts. Didn't even realize he's a top 10 tight end so far this year. I mean, I'm sure once you get past like tight end 4, they're probably all not very good, but he's sitting there at number 9, averaging 11.3 points this year. So hell yeah, a little mini breakout for Kyle Pitts finally in year 5. So glad to see that come to fruition.
Absolutely. Oh, shout out Tucker Kraft, 33 on my bench. Dude's a beast. If anyone wants him, hit my line.
Yeah, we'll say. I was going to just say, Collins, this 4 RB system is just a sight to see. I mean, this is like Mona Lisa territory. I mean, Warren Cook and the flex, so nice, and then Vidal, it's a little newcomer, and then McCaffrey leading the charge. Like, what is a stable of running backs? Yeah, that's not a. And then Tucker Kraft on the bench is wild. So yeah, Collins, someone that I'm not sure I want to play in the playoffs, but if we who knows? I mean, we'll see how the season shapes out, but. Not to add some extra glaze there for I think Collins number 1 in the standings, but
appreciate it. Yeah, man. If Kraft keeps it up, I might have to plug him in the flex. Play him and Warren. I don't know. I ain't benching Tyler Warren though. That's for sure.
Dude, you were talking about a potential playoff matchup. I feel like you guys play each other in the playoffs every year. I guess maybe not last year. I'm not sure, Colin, because I know you didn't make it or whatever. I'm not sure if.
Easy.
Dude, I got to get my shots in here, man. I'm going to be taking shit for the whole last month and a half of the season, so let me victory lap a little bit. But I was going to say, I feel like you guys literally play in the playoffs like every year besides maybe last year. So feels like we're heading for another potential matchup here this postseason. I'm going to be excited and grab my popcorn for that one for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's kick it over to Dean and Nichols matchup. 2 teams that are now 6-2. This is a big week for both of them, honestly. We've been talking about Nichols a lot and how he has not scored many points, but he still had that good record. Puts up a reasonable score, 133, but Dean beats him 135. He was able to bench his defense on Monday night. He would have put up 146 if he kept Chiefs D in, but huge win for Dean. Trying to think. What do you got? I know, Tanish, you're a big Justin Herbert fan. You got anything to say on him?
Yeah, I mean, Herbert, like looking at him, he's etching the top 5 QB. And one's got to think. I mean, the WAG effect has got to have something going on here. I mean, just spend a lot of time with Madison Beer. I was at the Dodgers game. Was hanging out with Justin Bieber. I mean, this guy is killing it right now. So, yeah, something. I mean, I got to take note of for future seasons is who these guys are talking to. I mean, you see, Goff's got a pretty piece by his side. I mean, this stuff does matter, fellas. I mean. These guys are interacting, and that when you've got beautiful women in your headspace, it's good for the brand, it's good for the aura, it's just good for everything overall. So, I mean, I should have seen this coming with Herbert. I mean, a Herbert Keenan Allen stack, I would have done wonders for me. I mean, it would have just been a pipe dream, but happy for Dean, and then just his team overall is pretty loaded.
Sure is. Big shout out to JT, man. Don't give him the MVP already. It's over. Too good. 153, 3 total TDs. I mean, holy shit, man. He's got 4 games, 3 touchdowns. What more do we have to say? Give him the MVP.
And that fun stat Michael brought last week about him having the same 3+ touchdown games as the Jets and Browns combined, it still lives on. The Jets ended up having 3 touchdowns, but no worries for Mr. Jonathan Taylor as he has a game of his own. And one little funny thing I wanted to call out about Nichols' team here, I don't think I have much more to add on these teams since we've kind of talked about him the last few weeks. But he's now lost his last 2 games, and I guess actually those were 2 of his 3 highest scores on the season. So his 3 highest scores have all been the last 3 weeks, and these last 2 weeks he's actually lost. So been a real up and down year for him so far, kind of in the luck department. Yeah, we'll see what kind of happens the rest of the year, but really weird schedule so far for Nichols' team so far.
R.I.P. Cam Scattaboo. Get healthy soon. That sucks. Nichols does have Tracy, who could end up being good for the Giants with Dart, but and he will get Bucky back at some point, so he should be able to survive it. But that sucked to see.
Yeah, brutal injury, and I'm a proud Cam Scatabo dynasty owner here, so very heartbreaking for my team as well. All of our prayers obviously out to Cam. Hopefully he comes back from that injury. I feel like if there's anyone that can, it's going to be him. So I'll be excited to watch him next year, assuming he's ready to roll when the season comes back.
Dude, he almost tried to stand up with his ankle. His ankle was sideways. He's like,
badass. He's badass.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that said it was like one of the only times that the Eagles were like in unison cheering for him. So that was pretty remarkable to see a player with that impact on the game. I mean, just him and Dart were electric. But
absolutely.
Yeah, in terms of Nichols, I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the Giants will feature Tracy, but he's got Bucky still hurt. Kenneth Walker has been all right. Derek, I haven't heard much about Derrick Henry. I mean, he's been like kind of
he should get better with Lamar. Lamar coming back.
Yeah, really, me too. When is Lamar supposed to be back? When's his timetable?
I think this week. I think he's
he was supposed to be back this past week, but then he ended up not playing for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's coming back this week.
Was he out getting street food or something, Colin? He missed the game?
I think so. Yeah.
One last thing before we move on to, I want to call it about Nichols' team. Great pickup by him of Rondé Gadsden off of waivers last week. I ended up not adding him, I guess, because I already have Trey McBride and my team fucking sucks. So there was really no point of adding another tight end. Did add him in another league, though, and he ended up having a great game. I started him this week as well in that league. So shout out Nichols, great pickup. I think he should be a very startable tight end the rest of the year. He's even still got Sam Laporte on his bench. So we'll see if that helps him out or just causes additional headache for the rest of the year on those start sits.
Definitely. All right. We'll kick it over to the next matchup. We had a pretty good game here between Ron and the Ironheads. Ron squeaks one out, 120 to 117. Big week for Zach. He was kind of fighting there. He was coming in 5-2. And if he got the win, he would have been tied for first at 6-2. But he moves to 5-3. Ron moves to 3-5. So another big win for Ron there. But Ron gets Rashee Rice back for the past couple weeks. Dude's been killing it. And other than that, I mean, he had to start Jeremy McNichols. I think his first name is Jeremy. He had basically like 3 of his best players on bye this week, but he got 11.8 points for him, and that ended up getting him the dub. So good week by Ron there.
Yeah, just commenting on both teams here. So I mean, the Ironheads have a real blue collar team. You know, they got Jay Freaky starting at quarterback. They got Rico, big Rico rocking the RB2. They got Shakir. I mean, they got some pieces here that one would say, you know, one might question at first glance, but I mean, they've been strapping together wins. They got Corey Crosby Merritt right there riding the flex. So yeah, I mean, they got I think this Amon-Ra David Mott combo could really work well. I mean, Amon-Ra's having a fantastic season, but yeah, I'm interested to see the rest of. I guess Lamar does come back, so yeah. I wonder if Big Yost will ride the hot hand with Fields and how the rest of the Jets season will work out. I mean, that was a pretty interesting game. I took a lot of Justin Fields props because I feel like that's my boy. I don't know. I couldn't have seen him being disrespected like that and then going out there and laying a clunker. So
you drafted him, didn't you?
I think I might have, and then I don't know. I probably dropped. See, I mean, the problem with my draft is I drafted like 3 quarterbacks. I think I drafted Kyler Murray,
You did draft him.
Justin Fields, and Mahomes, and I honestly expected Mahomes to be the worst because when I picked Justin Fields and I actually started him, I was like, yeah, I probably like won't even play Mahomes. Like this is just idiotic, and it just took up too many spots on my bench. Let him go, and yeah, I mean, if anyone can use him, I mean, I love the Ironheads to take use of Justin Fields' talents. No complaints there. I mean, we're the Ironheads and I are very good friends. No collusion or anything, but we welcome helping each other when we can in this league.
Love it.
Yeah, I think the only thing to add for me is good to see Ron pick up a win here. I know he's been struggling a lot with the points allowed this year, so finally able to see him maybe get a good matchup and able to capitalize on it with the tight victory this week. So we'll see if his team can keep pushing for the playoffs. As for the Ironheads, I still feel like we feel pretty good about his team overall. He's pretty thin at wide receiver, kind of like we talked about last week, and Bill's been having a couple of rough games in a row. I know Jaden Daniels is battling through an injury right now, so that could be playing a role in that, but we'll see if Bill's able to bounce back. I know he's been killing me in a couple of other leagues, so hopefully for my sake in those leagues as well, he's able to get things going here down the second half.
Absolutely.
I mean, as a Colts fan, I didn't know that Pittman's like the 6th ranked receiver. This is pretty cool. I mean, I guess the Colts have just been killing it overall, and I just have been seeing these box scores, but I didn't know Pittman was going crazy.
He's quietly having like the best season a wide receiver can have for being number 6. And at the beginning of the year, I think we talked about him. He was like one of my least favorite picks of whatever round he got drafted in. So I was totally wrong there. But what can I say, man? Colts, man, too good. Love to see it.
Yeah. What do you think their secret's been? I mean, I'm seeing some people chat about their that owner, right? The owner's daughter, or whatever.
Dude, she's insane.
What's going on there, man? Out in Indy.
She's awesome. She's on the sidelines constantly. Always got a headset on, listening to like everything the coaches were talking about. And I saw a video today about like her talking about like what she hears and like saying like how you can realize like, okay, maybe a wide receiver like messes up during the game, but then you realize like with the headset on that it wasn't his fault. Like maybe somebody called a wrong route for him. And like it was like a 2-minute long video, and someone quote tweeted it and saying like, as a fan of another team on the AFC or in the AFC, I am extremely scared she might be like the most intelligent owner or woman that we've ever seen. So love to see it, man.
She sounds correct. I mean, I'm hyped for the Colts. I mean, it's a franchise that, you know, is when I feel when the Colts are doing well, the NFL at large is a good league. It's in good hands. So
absolutely doing it for her, say, man. All right, let's kick it into our last matchup real quick. We got Barrett against the second worst team in the league compared to Riley's. Barrett wins 157, Elgin 93. I don't have much to say here. This was a complete beatdown on Barrett's team. I mean, you look at the defenses. I know we never talk about defenses. Barrett's defense 25 with the Buccaneers. Elgin's -8 with the Steelers. That one's a pretty big swing there. So I don't know, if you ask Elgin what he's doing this year, he'll probably tell you he's not checking his lineup. That's about all I got for these two.
I got nothing other than I got to keep apologizing to Barrett. His team just keeps proving me wrong week in and week out. He should have been the one in the top tier and not my bum ass team. So shout out him. Fuck Lad McConkey for finally having a good week when I got him on the hate segment. But I'm sure Barrett's happy to see him kind of have maybe not a breakout game. We know how good Lad McConkey is, but for this year, finally seeing some good games strung together. He's definitely got a solid team if he can stay healthy too. So like we're saying, I got to stay healthy down the stretch, but I think if this team's healthy, it's going to be one you don't really want to see come playoff time. So shout out Bear for building a pretty good team here that I was definitely sleeping on week 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just real quick, I mean, Elgin's team is like that one picture of like the Lambo and like under the trailer, and the Lambo is Jahmyr Gibbs, and the rest of the team is just, I mean, it's not pretty. It's really not pretty. I mean, you got Pacheco. I don't know what the hell was happening yesterday. He was like in the game, not playing. Pfizer boy at tight end, who's playing well. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, Barrett's got this Saquon. I feel like the 2-3 players you are absolutely terrified to see in the opposing lineup are JT, JSN, Saquon to be terrible. I mean, it just is like it's scary. It's scary hours. I mean, JSN is 2. JSN's 2. Who's one? Do we know?
Number one's
Correct.
got to be. Oh, who is it actually?
I was going to say Puka, but he missed the
Can't
game.
be
I
Puka.
guess.
Yeah, I think Puka's top 5 probably.
Let me look through. It
Jamar
can't be
Chase hasn't made up
CeeDee.
that much ground, right?
Oh, it low-key could be him.
He is
Yeah,
number
it is.
one.
It is
Wow.
Jamar. Yeah.
It's still Chase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what the margin is. Yeah, I guess it's just Chase. Damn. Well, good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I will say though, Jamar has not had his bye yet, so JSN could be leading him in points
J-
per game.
JSN does average more points, so technically it is him. Cool. You guys want to go to Love Hates now?
Yes, but let's recap
I was
before
gonna
we
say,
start.
let's recap. All right, you start us off, Fuller.
All right, where are we? Oh yeah, okay. So ended up going 2-1 this week to bring us to 10-8 on the season. So not terrible. Two that hit this week. Love Chase Brown at running back 21. He finishes his RB5. He ended up having a great day against the Jets. Stay tuned. Maybe he'll be on this segment again this week. And then I also hated George Pickens at wide receiver 12. He finishes wide receiver 17. And actually, this was kind of a funny game. Like Patrick Surtain didn't even really play too much of this game. He ended up dealing with an injury for most of this one. I think he just ended up sitting out the second half because they were blowing out the Cowboys so bad. So maybe Pickens had a little bit of an easier time than it would have been otherwise if Surtain had been out there the whole game. But he still ends up finishing under wide receiver 12, even though it ended up being kind of close. So able to still take the win there. As for Ladd McConkey, we hated him at wide receiver 10 last week. He finishes as wide receiver 6. And apparently I just should have picked any other Chargers wide receiver, and it would have been completely fine. Keenan Allen was one spot below him, and he only had 8 points. So apparently that was the way to go with this one and not Ladd McConkey, but still all right. We'll take the 2-1 this week and move on to the next.
Hey, 2-1, man. I'm begging for a week like that. We'll go through mine real quick. I actually went 1-1 this week, so I can't even be mad. We hated Baker Mayfield at QB7, finished as QB number 26. So that was probably the best call I've had all year. Then I said I hated AJ Brown. He did score 0, but he did not play, so we can't count that one. And then loved Cortland Sutton at wide receiver 14, finished wide receiver 36. Yeah, that was just a whiff there. But we go 1-1, moved to 5-12 on the season. We're coming back, so stay tuned. Got a lot of great picks for you here. Do want to shout out Michael last week. He went 2-1. Loved Saquon at RB12, finished RB number 3. Loved Tyler Algier at RB 33, finished RB 26. And then loved Dalton Kincaid at tight end 14. I love the pick. Tight ends day. Another guy we mentioned, Ferguson, didn't do much. Yeah, Kincaid finished at tight end 34. But 2-1, gotta be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, shout out the Algier pick. I thought that was an amazing call. He ends up getting in the end zone in this one, scoring their only touchdown. So able to get him up to the RB 26 mark, and that's really all you need for that. So great call on that one, Michael.
Absolutely. All right, Tanish, you want to start us off with your first love or hate this week?
Yeah, let's do it. So my first love is I think he is ranked pretty highly, but I do really like DeAndre Swift against the Bengals here. I think the Bears have been playing pretty well, and I think they've shouldered quite a load on Caleb Williams. Swift has been battling some nagging injuries, but I think he gets right here. I think they feed it to him on the ground. I could see 22 carries, over 100 yards. I could see some passing work. I could see a touchdown. I think I can see it all coming. Maybe throws for a touchdown. I mean, who knows? I mean, the Bears offense and their play calling is quite creative. So I like Swift here against the Bengals.
I'm pretty sure Bengals might have like the worst run defense in the league. Could be very wrong there. So I do love the pick though. Great
It's
pick.
not good.
Yeah, I'll save some of the stuff, I guess, for some of my picks because I really like picking people in this game, but I'm pretty sure the Bengals are dead last in points allowed per game. So obviously I'm going to love the pick if you're picking the running back that's going against the worst defense in the league. So love the pick.
Love it. All right, Tommy, you want to go second?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and do my first one. I'm going to copy one of my picks from last week, like I just said. I'm going to love Chase Brown again. I feel like they're still disrespecting him on the ESPN weekly list, and I'm going to keep loving him until they move him up. But I'm going to love Chase Brown at running back 16 versus Chicago in that same game. I'm going to take the running back on the other side. So this is obviously a game with a high total projection by Vegas. It's up there at 52.5. Actually, not the highest of the week. I'm pretty sure the Monday night game is actually higher than this impressively, but still high nonetheless. The Bears are allowing the 8th most points per game in the league. So obviously defense you want to target. And then they're also allowing the 10th most fantasy points per game to running backs this year. So great matchup for running backs overall. And then if we're just talking about Chase Brown, the player, I feel like he's looked like a completely different person since Joe Flacco has joined this team. He's averaging over 4 yards per carry in all 3 of those games that Flacco has started. He averaged 4.7, followed by 9.8, followed by 6.1. Like this looks like a completely different run game since Flacco's gotten to town and able to open things up with the passing game. So I think Chase Brown's going to continue to be able to ride that momentum, maybe get the Dak Street Boys a W. Don't want to get up ahead of ourselves, but at least finish above RB16 this week against Chicago.
Incredible statistics there. I don't think I can add anything to that. I mean, that was a great analysis. Love the pick there. I'll probably be betting on Chase Brown to score or something like that.
Absolutely.
Love it. Alrighty. With my first love-hate, we're gonna hate a guy on my own team, and that is Jaylen Warren at running back 11. Oh, guess who he plays? My Colts, baby. Come on, we're stopping that. Colts have a really good run defense. Actually, give up the 8th least amount of rushing yards to opposing teams this year. And honestly, I just think this is a tough matchup in general for the Steelers. I am a little bit worried that it could, like the Colts offense going up against this bad Steelers defense should be winning. And I'm a little bit worried that Rodgers might start dumping it off to Warren. But running back 11 mark, I know we got guys on buys and stuff like that, but that seems really high to me when he's got a tough matchup. So I'm gonna go ahead and hate him there. If he goes over that, I'll be happy because I'm starting him in fantasy. So.
I do really like this pick. He is way up there. I am seeing him at 12 on my rankings. So it seems like you might have him finish one below RB11. But regardless, 11, 12. I still like this pick. I don't really love Jaylen Warren being this high in general, I guess. And then going up into a pretty tough matchup where they're probably not expected to take the lead and able to just kind of run the football the whole game. Yeah, I don't really see him being that high. So I'm with you on this pick.
I will say the Colts are -3 in Pittsburgh, and that does feel like a trap. So like I am a little worried for the Colts. But I mean that Steelers defense is so bad, and our offense has just been ridiculous. So I've got faith, but that -3 in Pittsburgh feels a little sketchy to me. So I will not be betting on the Colts this week.
Nah, fuck that. Bet on the Colts.
I love it. All right, I'm betting them. Just bet them. All right, Tanish, who you got for your second love-hate?
So for my second, I'm just looking at the rankings here, and one person that stands out, I mentioned him earlier, is Tracy at 17. That's gonna be a hate for me. I think those shoes are too big to fill, man. You don't fill a guy like Scatabo in the backfield overnight. I think anyone who expects him to just come and take the workload and start putting up numbers is fooling themselves. I'm not sure how the game script will set up. I think that Dart will have to throw quite a bit. I think it's going to be a very scattered game. I think they could be doing a bunch of crazy stuff in the backfield. So I think 17 is a little too ambitious for Mr. Tracy.
Yeah, I like it. I had to look up and see who they play. 49ers, I don't know. Do either of you know if they're a good run defense or not? I honestly have no clue.
Not off the top of my head. I know they were a good defense to start the year, but now they've lost Bosa and Fred Warner, so I'm guessing they probably slipped off. I'm guessing the number you see might not even really reflect how they've been of late.
Yeah, definitely. No, I can definitely see the 49ers taking the lead early, and hopefully that forces Dart to throw to anybody but Tracy. So I like the pick, man.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Colin. I feel like we talked about that like right when Cam Scatabo kind of took over. Like the pass catching from running backs is probably going to be tougher to come by in the Giants offense than maybe like your standard offense, just with how well Jackson Dart's been running the ball. Then I also think Devin Singletary is definitely going to be involved here. It's not really just going to turn into like a workhorse type role for Tyrone Tracy. So yeah, I could definitely get behind this hate at RB 17, I think you said.
Yeah. That was the main concern there, just like workload. I just don't know how much they're really going to give to him like first week, especially since they need the full season.
Great point with Singletary too, and I mean, there's a reason that Tracy started the year off as number one and is not anymore. So great play.
All right, I think that takes us into my second pick here, and I'm actually going to stick with the same game, same team here. I'm going to love T. Higgins as well at wide receiver 21. I don't know how I feel about betting on the Bengals twice. I'm sure Michael is shunning me right now from behind his screen or whatever, but I'm still going to rock with it with the second Bengal. Like I said, high game total, a defense that's allowing the 8th most points per game in the league. Another matchup I want to target. They're a little better against wide receivers, though. The Bears are. They're 14th in fantasy points per game against wide receivers. So still very, they're still solid against wide receivers, but not any matchup that you want to really be afraid of. And then another stat just for T. Higgins. He only had 2 targets last game. They really had that game in the bag against the Jets. It seemed like they didn't really need to be airing the ball out as much until they completely blew it at the end. But in the 2 games prior to that in which Flacco was playing, he had 8 or more targets in both those games. So I feel like this volume should come back to him in a game that's actually going to be highly competitive. The Bengals actually might be playing from behind a lot of this game because we know that the Bears have looked pretty solid this year up until that last game against the Ravens. So I'm expecting the Bengals to have to throw the ball some. I know I love Chase Brown. I feel like it should be a pretty balanced game, and I really like both these guys to finish above where ESPN's got them ranked this week.
I got no problems with you taking Bengals in this game. The offense looked good with Flacco, man. I like it. Didn't he? What T had at least one bomb for a touchdown last week, right? Did you?
Yeah, he only had one. He had one catch, but I think he had like 11 points or something.
Yeah. But no, I love it, man. All righty. My second pick here, we're going to go with hating Davante Adams at wide receiver 9 versus New Orleans. I was going to say I hate Puka, but I can't hate him at number 3. That'd be a little cheap. If I did hate him at 3, he'd definitely finish top 3. But he's back against a decent New Orleans defense. I think last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I played someone against New Orleans defense and tried to make the same case. Didn't work out for me. But besides that point, I think Rams are favored by like something ridiculous this week. And I'm really expecting them to score early and just run the ball to Kyren, not get a ton of targets for Davante, and just hopefully he can't score. Whenever they do throw, hopefully they're going to try and get Puka back into this game in his first week. And just number 9 seems like a very high number for a team that's expected to win by a lot and ideally not throw too much. So Hayden Davante at number 9.
Yeah, Colin, I got to say, I do really like this pick. I mean, as you know, I've kind of been hating on Davante Adams the entire year, and he's still been putting up some solid fantasy points via touchdowns. But I will say, last time they played, they were actually in a game where they won by 35 points or so, and he had 26.5 points. So we'll see how that works out. I will say, I feel like I had something I said against Davante Adams that week, and he ended up popping off. I'm not sure if it was an official play or anything like that. But yeah, be careful, Davante Adams. I've been trying to hate on him all year, and he just keeps coming and biting me in the ass. So we'll see if this one pans out for you.
I mean, my rationale behind it is, all right, I'm hoping Puka finishes above him. Then like you throw in like JSN, maybe CD, Jamar, maybe even T. But then you got to think, Colts phone up the Steelers defense. You got Alec Pierce that's finishing top 5, Michael Pittman top 5, Josh Downs probably number 8 this week. So that's a lot of guys that he's got to beat out. So we'll stick with it.
Yeah, and it's hard to love a guy like Alec Pierce at wide receiver 5. I mean, he can only go up so far from there, you know.
Exactly. All right, Sneesh, let's round out the third love hates here. Who you got for your last one?
Yeah, my last one is taking off in 48 hours here. It's Mr. Jalen Waddle. He's at 14, so it's a little rich, but I'm buying into it. I think the Monday night, Thursday night games are always a little wonky. I think with Lamar coming back, it'll be high scoring. With Tyreek gone, obviously there's a lack of pass catching for the Dolphins, and yeah, I mean, I feel like for Mike McDaniel in general, it's kind of his last hope. I mean, I don't know if he's going to stay with the team after this season if they're putting up clunkers like this. So I could see Waddle having a 9 or 10 target type of day. I could see 90, 100 yards, maybe a touchdown, perhaps. So yeah, I like Waddle a lot in this slot where they'll have to throw the ball quite a bit.
I got some quick stats here for you. In his last 4 games since Tyreek's injury, if you get rid of the Browns game, because that was the one where it was crap weather, Waddle's had 95, 98, and 110 receiving yards. And then the Ravens top 5 or bottom 5 pass defense. So love the play. They should theoretically be down to the Ravens with Lamar coming back. So expect him to get fed.
I was literally pulling out my phone to say the exact same shit you just said, Colin. So yeah, I agree.
Love it. Love it. All right. Who you got for your last one, Tommy?
Oh yeah, I do have another pick. I'm going to love an Ironhead this week. I'm going to love Jordan Addison at wide receiver 29 going up against my Detroit Lions. I will say a quick caution with this one. This will be his first game with J.J. McCarthy. I was going to say this year, but I guess ever. So that could be something to be a little bit scared of. But this guy was coming off a 3-game suspension, playing with Carl Wentz slinging the fucking rock, and he was still producing. So I'm not really concerned about that too much. We've got another game with a high total here of 47.5. Obviously, the Detroit Lions are playing in this football game. Vegas is going to assume it's going to be high scoring. It should be a good game script for pass catchers. The Lions are favored by 8.5 points in this one. So assuming our offense can get back on track after the bye, the Vikings are probably going to have to throw the ball a lot in this one in order to keep up, assuming that's the case. And then Jordan Addison also, he's been great just this season in general. I don't think he's had many games where he's totally knocked your socks off. He's got 11.6 points in every game this season, and that includes last game where I think he only had 25 yards. So he's still finding a way to produce even without the high yardage totals, high reception totals, because this Vikings offense has just been pretty bad with Carson Wentz at quarterback. So maybe we'll see if J.J. McCarthy is a little bit of an upgrade there. I'm kind of holding my breath because we didn't really see too much through his first 8 quarters of action or so. But if Jordan Addison's producing with Carson Wentz, I don't see why this shouldn't continue with J.J. McCarthy in a matchup that should be pretty favorable for him.
I'm excited for JJ back. It's been too long. We need him to throw for 500 passing yards to hit his over on the season long best bet. But no, I agree, man. Can't argue with you. You know that Lions defense well. So Jordan Addison's definitely hitting that wide receiver 29 mark.
Let me stop you right there. I was just watching this game last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now. I didn't even recognize 3 of the guys starting in our secondary. I just found out while I was watching the game. So I'm not sure how well I know this defense with all the injuries and stuff we're dealing with. But Brian Branch should be coming back off suspension. And then I think Kirby Joseph should be healthy by now as well. Maybe we get a cornerback back as well. So we'll see if this defense is maybe a little better. I know that's not good for the Addison pick, but it should be good for them maybe having to throw the ball and falling behind a little early, knock on wood. Maybe I shouldn't just keep talking about how good my Lions are before the game.
Fair enough. All right. Last pick here. Obviously, as you guys know, Tanish, I'm not sure how much you've listened, but like I said earlier, I'm 5-12 on these love hates on the season. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. We are going to love a defense, and that defense is going to be Patriots defense at 13 versus the Falcons. Let me start by saying Patriots defense, number 2 fantasy-wise. They are the highest scoring defense, in terms of points, off pick sixes and fumbles this year. And you look at the Falcons, you think at some points, you think this offense is good. I know Penix, I would say Penix has been hurt. But they put up 10 the last couple weeks. They put up 24 against the Bills, which was all right. Earlier in the season, they put up 0 against the Panthers. Now, obviously, Bijan could go off at any time with Drake London. I think he's healthy again. So run a little bit risk there. But this Patriots defense, man, it's been awesome, and that's disrespectful that they're putting them at 13. So we're going to love them. Love the defense, baby.
Every week I root for you and I root for the Patriots, but I've never rooted so hard for a pick to miss in my entire life. I do want to ask, though, where is this game at? Is it at home or on the road?
Oh, God. Did not put it in? I think it's in Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say if it's on the road, I definitely like love this pick because we were talking about like the Michael Penix splits last week, but yeah, I guess we'll see if it's on the road. You wrote versus in here. Maybe it is at home. Let me look. Real quick.
You might be right. Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, it is at home. There you
It
go.
is at home.
I
You're
love
right.
the pick all of a sudden.
Let's go. Yeah,
But
we'll see.
I will be
how that
rooting
turns out.
heavy against this shit.
But anyways, all right. All right. We covered all the love hates. You guys want a trivia question?
I do.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, I got to ask you before. This question is going to take place in 2021. Either of you guys know what happened fantasy wise in 2021?
Kyle Pitts sucked. Actually, no, that was his rookie year.
McCaffrey
That is true.
either went off. McCaffrey went off, or did he get hurt that year?
He got hurt.
He got hurt 2021. 2021.
Yeah, 2020 and 2021. I know he missed a lot of time.
Well, I won't make you think too
Oh,
hard.
it's Cooper Kupp. Is that what you're asking?
All right, so I wasn't gonna make you think too hard because that is one of the answers to the question. But 2021, Mr. Salty Mango won the fantasy league this year.
Yes.
So had to take it back to there. But the question for you guys is who scored the most fantasy points during the 2021 season? Fantasy PPR standard scoring. We are including quarterbacks in this question. So there are a good amount of quarterbacks, and it is also a maximum of 3 games missed. So some of these guys on here may have missed a couple games, but we're going by average points as well. So if you missed a lot of games, you're not going to be eligible for this answer. So top 10 fantasy averages 2021 season.
I've got some to rip off. Tanish, if you want to start, you can go ahead. I feel like quarterbacks are probably the way to go here.
Quarterbacks are. I'm just trying to think of who was on my team, and it's bad that I don't know this better, but I think I had Eckler that year.
Mr. Eckler, number 9.
Hey, all right.
Average 21 and a half.
Holy crap. Okay, yeah, it's got to just be a ring of quarterbacks then. Mahomes on there?
Mahomes, number 6 at 22 points per game.
Lamar
is not on this list, and he was not top 15 either.
I think that was the year he missed like the second half. I forget what happened to him, but I think he did miss some time that year.
Jamar Chase
is not on this list. No, he didn't just miss. I don't know what I was looking at.
Okay.
Damn, it's got to be QB heavy because I think that was his rookie year, and he was like a top 5 receiver that year.
Yeah, not on this list. You guys did get one of them when I was asking you what happened in 2021.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp's definitely going to be on there, and then JT for sure too. I know he was the number 1 running back.
Cooper number 1, 25.9, and JT number 7, 21.9.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen number 2, 24.6. You're missing 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10.
I don't know if this was the year where Derrick Henry hurt his foot. If not, he's probably got to be close. He might have hurt his foot that year.
Nada. And
Sorry, I maybe should think. I'm not thinking quarterbacks at all. Is Josh Jacobs on there? I know he had a couple of monster years. That might not be it though.
He is not on here. I will tell you there's only one non-quarterback on the list still.
And is it Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson was like 16. He was
wow.
Nick it. Yep.
Dude, who is that? Should probably go back to quarterbacks though, right? That's probably where most of our answers are here.
Yeah, 4 QBs and then 1 receiver. It's not a running back.
I think Aaron Rodgers won MVP that year. Is he on there?
He was just off at number 12.
Oh, this is a sneak. Is Kirko Chains on there?
No, he is not. Good guess.
Dak.
That's
Dak,
good.
Dak was just off at 13.
Gosh, man. Who was playing QB back then? It was ages ago.
He was slinging the ball his career. Is Tom Brady still on there?
Tom Brady, number 4, 22.7.
Wow.
TB12. TB12. Who else was playing?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I can't think of like quarterbacks.
One of these QBs we've talked about today. Tanish, I think, talked about him.
Is it Herbert?
It is
So-
Herbert, number 3, 23.3.
Oh, and I feel like that just gave me Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, number 10 at 21.4. So you're missing one QB, one receiver. I can give hints if you need.
Is this a wide receiver though?
Yes. It is
Kelce's
wide
not
receiver.
balling out like that, is he?
It is wide receiver.
Wide receiver 2021.
I feel like I can't think of anyone that even like makes sense.
For the wide receiver, you made a very good point about something else that relates to him.
Oh, Devontae Adams.
There you go.
There you
Devontae
go.
Adams.
Nice pull.
Hey.
All right, one more quarterback. Trying to think of the best way to describe him. I would describe him as a running quarterback. Like you could definitely say he's a running QB.
This ain't rookie Justin Fields now, is it?
It is not.
Running.
Is he still on the same team he was in 2021?
He is. He is not. He's been on the same team that he was drafted by. Not crazy old, but not a rookie either. Obviously, if he's playing in 21.
Oh, is it Kyler?
It is Kyler.
Nice.
Yes. Kyler.
Yeah, you guys mentioned most of the guys right after. Debo actually was number 11. Then you got Rodgers, Dak, JJ, Joe Burrow, and Matthew Stafford were real close there too. But good work. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was going to be tough with QBs or not. So sorry if that was a little tough one, but good work.
That made it easier. I feel like my brain was short circuiting there. I feel like I couldn't even think of like quarterbacks that are like you just had to think of quarterbacks that are playing right now. I feel like I was just trying to think like 5 years ago. Like most guys are still playing for the same team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least the good
it's
ones.
back. Yeah. Well, good work. Awesome. Well, I think all we got left is best bets today, and we
Let's
recap.
Yes.
Let's hand out some locks, baby. Let's hand out some locks.
Oh,
All
man.
right. I guess maybe I'll go ahead and go first and just recap. I only had one pick last week because Michael Penix ended up not playing, so that one obviously ends up as a draw. But we had Bills -7. They win by 31, so nice and easy win there. 1-0 this week, up 1 unit, up 3.37 units this season. So let's see if we can keep the momentum rolling another week here.
Let's go. I went 1-1 this week. Jordan Love over 238 passing yards. He had a lot more than that. Not sure what the number was, but we take that as a win. And then the loss, Bijan Robinson over 129.5 rushing and receiving yards versus Miami. It was done from the start. He had like 30 rushing yards and like 20 receiving yards. So bad one there. We go down 0.1 units on the week, but plus 4.78 for the season. We will recap Michael's real quick too. He went 1-2. Bills Panthers over 45.5. That game finished at like 49, I want to say. And then Goddard sticking with the tight ends, man. It was great. And another tight end that kind of let us down. He did score, if I remember correctly, maybe even twice.
I was literally about to say it was always Dallas Goedert 2+ touchdowns and not interceptions.
Yeah. So real tough beat there. And then the Falcons team total, Colts team total parlay was a great effort by the Colts. They did their job, but the Falcons just came up short. So tough loss there, but I know we'll text him for some more locks this week. He'll bounce back this week.
Yeah, three losses and a draw this week, and 3 of those were the Atlanta Falcons. Talk about banned.
Yeah.
They're joining the
Yeah.
list with the Packers and JMO.
Yeah, and oh man, that makes me think. I've got the Patriots defense, loving them against the Falcons. They're totally going off this week.
Take your Falcons player props when you can.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Tommy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off, because I know you got 3 best bets this week.
Yeah, I think mine are all going to kind of go hand in hand this week. I've got 3 underdogs on the road covering the, 3 favorites on the road covering the spread this week. The one I'm going to start with, I guess, is Jaguars -3 against the Raiders. Both teams are coming off a bye this week. I feel like my Bills pick last week, maybe that's something I'll look into. Teams coming off of a bye, playing a team that is not coming off of a bye. Maybe that's something we kind of monitor throughout the rest of the year. We have 2 teams coming off a bye, though, so not taking advantage of that there. The Jaguars are only -3 against the Raiders, and the Raiders have looked horrible all year. I feel like I'm going to say this with all 3 of these picks. They feel like they might be trapped because they seem like such obvious picks, at least from my perspective. But I've been hating on the Jaguars all year, but I think they're the much, much better team here. I do like Liam Cohen calling the plays here. I feel like he's been able to get them to move the ball well, despite the players maybe not like playing their best. Like, I've not been impressed with Trevor Lawrence. I've obviously not been impressed with Brian Thomas Jr. So we haven't seen them really come to full fruition yet. Maybe we see that this week against the Raiders, maybe not. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm doing a lot of rambling just to say I think the Jaguars are a lot better team than the Raiders. I don't care that they're on the road. I think they should be able to cover this -3, and then we get the push at 3 as well. So happy to take that. We're going to ride with the Jags this week, even though I've been shitting on them literally the entire season so far.
Speaking of 2 teams that suck, you definitely got them both here. I agree with you though. The Raiders are definitely the worst team here. Vegas given Jags -3. They're saying on the road to what? That's saying they're neutral site. They're about a pick 'em game, which is very interesting to me. I would definitely take the Jags over the Raiders. But you mentioned it maybe when we were just talking. Seems a little sketchy, but honestly, I love it. Gino's been horrible. And I know Jacoby Myers is a little beat up right now too. So we'll see what happens. Love the pick. I'll actually go next. Speaking of teams coming off of a bye, well, we're gonna go take a look at the Detroit Lions this week, and we're gonna do their team total over 27.5. I was just gonna make that the play, but then I added the money line in. It took it from -125 to -115. So didn't really do much there, but the Lions are winning this week. Since Brian Flores took over as defensive coordinator, the Lions have scored 30, 30, 31, and 31 against the Vikings. They average over 388 yards of offense per game in these matchups. Then also coming off of a bye, they are 11-2 against the spread in their last 13 games off of a bye. So that's why I'm taking the money line as well. But then also their last 2 games coming off a bye, last year scored 47 versus Dallas. Year before that scored 41 versus the Chargers. So a lot of things pointing here to an over team total, and I like the number at 27.5. Need 4 touchdowns there, or a lot of field goals and 3 touchdowns. So we're gonna rock with it. -115 odds.
Now here's a guy who knows ball. Love that pick. I'm sporting the Dan Campbell shirt tonight, so we're repping. We're loving that pick.
There we go. All right, Tish, what you got?
All right, Mel. I'm gonna finish this off here. So I got a couple interesting ones here. I see the Texans and the Broncos. See, Broncos are or Texans are 1.5 favorites. Yeah, I mean, I just like the Texans overall in this game. I think it's kind of a pick 'em. I think Stroud has been playing a little bit better. I think the Texans D has been very solid. I just kind of expect the Broncos to have a little bit of a letdown game after murdering the Cowboys last week. I think Knicks doesn't play that well. I think the Texans take care of business here in a pretty low-scoring game. So that's my first one. Second is kind of piggybacking off Floyd here. I think I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence over passing yards. I think it's like 220 something, but I'm going to hammer that. I think T-Law has a day. I think maybe Brian Thomas Jr. ends up. Maybe everyone gets involved. Maybe Travis Hunter gets in the end zone. Maybe Yeah, even if he throws to ETN, I mean, I think the Jags will cook up something here. I think Trevor Lawrence is gonna feast on these Raiders. So that's my second, and then my third is speaking of the Cowboys. I think they will take care of business on Monday night. So the spread there is -2.5. I'll take a -2.5. I think the Cardinals are just very inconsistent. Kyler's a shrub back there playing quarterback. I mean, they're not going to get anything done. Arvin's going to get locked up. I mean, take the Cowboys. So parlay those together. Parlay all the picks. I might just parlay all the picks just to see how it goes. Maybe a little 7 or 8. I like it.
Love it.
We'll see if it hits. Those are Mango's locks.
I wanna go back real quick to the Texans Broncos game. I think that's a sharp pick. Feel like the majority of people look at that line and be like, oh yeah, like Broncos are winning this game. But you made good points there. Like the Texans have looked a lot better. And this just feels like a letdown spot for the Broncos. So I looked at that game earlier too, and I'm like, man, why are the Texans -1.5? But you got to take it there. So like that pick. Like them all, but just wanted to highlight that one.
Yeah, I don't think I have much more to add, I guess, on that one. And then obviously I'm gonna like the Trevor pick if I'm rocking with the Jaguars -3. But I'm not gonna hate on my Cowboys either. Love me some Dak Prescott, some CeeDee Lamb, some George Pickens. So happy to watch those boys fall out on Monday night for you. All right. Well, I've still got 2 other picks, I guess. I might just say them together because I think you've only got one more, Colin, and I feel like all my picks kind of go together. Anyways, I got the 49ers -2.5 at the Giants. Same sort of deal. This one does seem a little bit sketchy. I am kind of banking on the fact that maybe New York's looking a little lethargic, I guess, after the big Cam Scatterbo injury. We'll see if they kind of rally the troops and are able to just have a big bounce-back game after the tough loss against the Eagles. Though, one little fun fact, the last 6 weeks, the Niners have alternated between a win and a loss every single week. Last week, they lost, so they're due for another win. I do have a -2.5. I can't factor that into the equation there, but we're going to take a -2.5 and hope it still hits. Then the last one here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Colin.
Love that analysis. Love it.
Yeah, I was like, fuck it. Yeah, that's the pick. That's the analysis. And then the last one, we got Chargers -9.5 against Tennessee. Like I said, all 3 of these feel like kind of traps. They all feel like the better team is favored by not as much as maybe they should be. The Titans are awful. They just got blown out by the Colts after getting blown out by everybody they played before that, except for the Chargers, who decided to have the biggest implosion I've ever seen on live TV. So I think the Chargers looked like a great team. I remember a few weeks ago I was saying I didn't think they were really good the way they were constructed. They get Joe Alt back at right tackle, and they look phenomenal against the Vikings. So I'm happy to bet on them 1 week after that. They get the extra 3 days of rest as well to go up against Tennessee, who is not coming off of bye or a short week, or a long week like the Chargers are having. So I think the Chargers should be able to capitalize on that as well as just being much better overall. So I'm happy to take them to win here by double digits.
You mentioned the Titans and how bad they are. You got to look back at last week, and if you break this down from a fundamental standpoint, the Titans actually looked very good. I mean, this is as good as you can play against the Colts. Taking a loss 38-14, that really isn't that bad. I mean, that's the best that the team's going to do. But to your point, Chargers, they lost to the Colts. They're taking a lot of heat on the Colts being so much better than them. They're going to want to come out and beat the Titans by more than the Colts did. So love that pick. And then yeah, your 49ers pick, a little bit sketchy line, but great analysis there, and I'll be tailing.
Hell yeah.
All right, last pick of the day. Only got 2 picks for me this week. We are gonna love Indiana Jones at his passing yard line. Not 100% sure.
Streeto.
I was like, did we just lose him?
Oh, he's in.
What the heck happened?
Dude, why do we have 2 Collins in here? What the hell is going on?
I was just talking and it came
Yeah, we
off.
got someone. We've got duplication.
Can you hear my voice twice?
Yeah, Colin number 2. Go ahead with what you were saying.
Okay. All right. Indiana Jones over. I don't know what the line is yet. It's not out yet. I'm expecting like 240, 250 range. Goes up against one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL and the Steelers. Jordan Love just threw for like 350 yards against them. Colts offense, it's going to be rocking. Indiana Jones 250, and then if you really want to get interesting with it, parlay JT to go for like 100 yards and 3 touchdowns as well. Might as well, but we'll stick with just Indiana Jones.
Yeah, dude, I think Jonathan Taylor stole my thunder this year. I always said, like, take your favorite pick and throw Jahmyr Gibbs anytime touchdown on it. But maybe Jonathan Taylor's the new wave with his touchdown performances this year. I feel like I'm going to stay away from JT, though. I don't want to jinx him, but I do like Daniel Jones as well this week. Rooting for this bet to hit as well. It's not a defensive love-hate, so I'm happy to tail this one and root for it as well along with you.
Let's go, baby. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Nish, always a pleasure. Great job. You got any closing remarks here?
No, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. This was a blast. I got some ball chatting up, and then yeah, I mean, Mango's 500 right now, so we'll see what we can put together these next couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the season finishes out, and I mean, once this 8-leg parlay hits, all of us can quit our jobs, drop out of school, do everything it needs to take, and yeah. See you boys in Vegas.
We'll do this full time once we hit the parlay. We'll just make podcasts. How about you, Tommy? You got anything you want to leave us on?
Got nothing really else to say other than thanks Mango for coming on, and then I got this for him, the little.
I gotta go on camera. Can't do it silently.
Well, awesome, man. Well, thanks again for joining. Looking forward to seeing you in the playoffs. And as always, good luck to everybody in the Shovel Mitch League. Go Lions and bleed blue.